Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time from for Edward. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics or randomness or whatever, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. As for South Park Season 4, Episodes 14 and 15. Now, Episode 14, the South Park guys decided to do something a little bit different where they did like Masterpiece Theater. People don't know back in the day. I think it was on PBS, and very upper British gentleman, in this case Malcolm McDowell from A Clockwork Orange. He even says, "I'm a British person." As it's him in live action, and he's introducing the story of the character Pip, who's a character we've seen on South Park. And this is supposedly where he came from, where parents are dead. He's with these group of people. We need to teach this boy some blaze cynicism. And Pip, he's always nice. He's always kind. And he meets this homeless guy, helps him out. And one day he meets this little girl who's with this old lady. And the old lady is so obsessed with tearing this Pip's heart to pieces, saying, "Okay, little girl, I want you to befriend this kid and make him fall in love with you and break his heart." And the little girl keeps insulting Pip, saying like, "You're a stupid puddle of a homeless man's urine and you're all this and that." And Pip, being the fucking simp that he is, he's falling for her. This is where he goes to London to be a proper gentleman at the party, at the ball. And it was kind of interesting how from time to time it would cut back to Malcolm McDowell, very British gentleman, describing this weird, crazy stuff, obviously being in on the joke. And never thought I would see Malcolm McDowell. I'm like, Malcolm McDowell? What, did he know South Park? Was he a fan of South Park? Again, just not something you would expect. Also, the fact that it seems like Trey Parker, Matt Stone hates celebrities. So the fact they got a celebrity is even more unusual. Because usually they seem like the type that hate celebrities. Like they don't get celebrity voice actors. Other than Cheech and Chong. Like so far the only people, yeah, Cheech and Chong was in one episode, and then Malcolm McDowell here. Now maybe in the future there's been others, but not that many. Not that many. So, yeah, go figure. And then becomes sci-fi because now there's robot monkeys and some Genesis project, which remind me of Star Trek Genesis. Something to use tears, and the old lady's going to be young. And then Pip is trying to get the girl, "Hey, you have a heart?" "No, I don't." "Well, look at this cute bunny." And the girl keeps breaking bunnies' necks. "I bet you can't kill 25 bunnies." "I bet you can't kill 26 baby bunnies." And trying to prove that she has a heart. It's definitely it's interesting to see an episode off the beaten path compared to the other episodes. Pip, I'm kind of indifferent on the character, but I just see that there's at least a bit of fun in the fact that this kid is always upbeat. He's always upbeat. He's always look at the bright side of a situation. And so it makes it a bit different from the other South Park characters. And, it's interesting that, they tried to do something a little bit different. I said before that the better episodes are the ones with Cartman in it, because Cartman, to me, I think is kind of like Homer Simpson on The Simpsons. Like, if you don't have Homer on The Simpsons, like if you don't have Cartman on South Park, it's just not as effective, at least in my opinion. But like I said, I appreciate they try to do something a little bit different, and definitely a quirky plot that you wonder where the hell is this going, which I guess is par for the course for South Park. And again, the fact that they have Malcolm McDowell was an interesting idea. Episode 15, I would say I like that a little bit more because it deals with Cartman, and he's pretty much sent off the fat camp. And the workers are very nice, but Cartman's miserable, and he tries to escape, and he's tricked into thinking this ice cream truck is an actual ice cream truck, but then he gets put in, and it's to get him right back to the facility. Meanwhile, Kenny is getting more popular, I guess because of the point you had Jackass, you had Tom Green, you had these folks that were doing these crazy, outrageous things for whether attention, money, fame, however you want to put it, and South Park was kind of taking the piss out of that. I mean, you even have an appearance of a Tom Green and a Johnny Knoxville and a Howard Stern. Of course, it's not really their voices, but their feature. Pretty much Kenny's just doing crazy stuff for like $5, like eating his own puke, or eating dog poo, or just again sicker and sicker stuff. I think he gives Howard Stern a blowjob, for what I understand, which I don't even know. Thankfully, you don't see it. I don't even know what the hell to say about that. I don't even know. With how old Kenny is, and I ain't touching that. Literally and figuratively. But I would say the Cartman story I liked more, because I think Cartman is the funniest character on the show, with the way the voice is done, the tone of the voice. And then you're led to believe that Cartman got thin. I think the design of a thin Cartman is actually kind of... I thought it was a cute design. Like, it was interesting to see what Cartman would look like if he looked like the other kids, size-wise. But it's not the real Cartman. It's a fake Cartman that the real Cartman bought off. I would say it would have been interesting to see what that story would have played off if Cartman was a thin character. I actually think that'd be kind of funny for a couple episodes, that people just can't, they just can't get used to it, and maybe it could be a ploy, not a ploy, but a play on when you change something on a TV show, and how viewers, they're a lot of times understandably so, they can't quite get used to it. They want things to stay, if not the same, then similar, but maybe you could play that with the characters of the show, that they feel the same way. Stupid man. Sorry. Apparently the Fly wants that idea too. And he's trying to get my attention. Shoo fly shoo. Sorry. I want the spotlight to myself. But yeah, I guess maybe he wanted the intent. He wants that too. Or maybe he was against me and he was trying to shut me up. But you can't shut me up. I'm going to keep talking. Just, I think that would be kind of interesting if you had a thin Cartman and the characters are reacting. I didn't like viewers were react if something changes on a TV show. But then Cartman's like being pissed. No, I don't want to change. Me. Piss off. I'm not changing. You made fun of me being fat. I'm thin. Now you don't make fun of me being thin. Screw you guys. I'm going home. I think there's something that could be played off with that. But I mean, who knows? I mean, there's been so many damn seasons. Maybe they'd have done something like that. If you know, feel free to let me know. But again, the whole Cartman part of the story was funny. Kenny, pretty much... Kind of a weird thing they did at the end is they do kill Kenny, but not the actual Kenny. Because the fake Cartman gets found out, and the real Kenny's been arrested for giving Howard Stern a Hummer. So they get the fake Cartman to be a fake Kenny, who has his own show now, and is doing a dare to be in a woman's uterus. And of course, after a while, the fake Tenny dies. So I guess, I mean, like I said, they're trying to find different ways to kill Tenny. So in this case, it's killing a fake Tenny. Cartman just kicked out a fat tamp. Like I said, I kind of wish the whole episode was just about the Cartman stuff. And I kind of wish it wasn't a fake Cartman. Like I said, I kind of wish it was him fighting against it. He's like, screw it, I'll do it. He comes back, and then people are mad that he's changed. I didn't kind of... And then they get so mad they want him to change back. But then he's like, no, I'm not going to change. And then maybe you play it off for a couple episodes, and then something happens where he changes. I just think there could be more you could do with that idea. And this whole Kenny, which idea I know is their take on Jackass and Tom Green. For those who don't even know Tom Green, he had the Tom Green show. He had Freddy Got Fingered, the movie where he's doing all this sick stuff. I just think there's a bit more that could be played off into the Cartman stuff. The Kenny stuff was like, it was there. Chef always likes to have Isaac Hayes in there. He sings a song. First he's like, I'm not talking to you kids about this stuff. You get me in trouble with the principal. Because Kenny's called a prostitute and they don't know what a prostitute is. And then Chef's like, why are you guys always asking me these questions? Why don't you ask me about, hey, what kind of food we're having? How's your day going? You always ask me these weird questions and I always get in trouble. So I like that Chef actually brings that up. And then he starts singing a song about prostitution and then he gets in trouble. I miss Isaac Hayes. So it's always nice to hear his voice. So again, episode 14, it was interesting. They tried to do something a little bit different with the whole Masterpiece Theater. Malcolm McDowell in a chair reading a book to the viewer, then we see what's going on. Episode 15. I think the idea of Cartman at Fan Camp is funnier than what they did with the show. I think there's a lot more you could do with that idea. So I would say, well, I like episode 15 more than 14. I think episode 15... there was more you could have done with that concept, I think. So, a little bit disappointing. But not bad. So, I mean, I don't talk about the animation, the music, because it's fairly similar from show to show. There's not a whole lot of differences in terms of animation. Or even, the voice acting and such. Overall, yeah. Not too bad. I know there's talk of South Park movies, because the guy signed that big deal. I'm more curious about the movies because you have to try to make one story for, I would assume, 90 minutes. That way you can flesh stuff out. I like the South Park movie, so we'll see. But with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.